I took a refresher course, especially on LLMs. It sounds like it could be true, but there's a lot of stuff that are made up and they're designed to be predictive and to make things up. And we should take that information with a grain of salt.
Oh, absolutely. And I did something really interesting with it. So I've actually found it to be quite a helpful tool and technology for code. It gets me
Yeah.
started on a lot of code and it makes me more efficient in that way. On a lot of projects that would otherwise take me all day to start can take me like half an hour. So it's very useful for that. I had a particular like networking challenge that I was trying to overcome, and I needed to, it's a bit techie, a bit geeky, but basically the difference, and you'll know this, I'm sure, you'll know the difference between little endian and big endian and ARM
Hmm.
and Intel processors.
Hmm.
And I needed to basically byte flip the code sequence based on which type of hardware we were working with.
Hmm.
And I asked it to make me, but essentially a sniffer function, right, that detected what technology was on the end of it and flipped the byte sequence based on it. And it quickly spat out some code and it looked great. So I ran it and I tested it on a system and I'm like, okay, that's what I was expecting. Then I tested it on another system that I was expecting it to be the other way, but it confidently said, nope, this is a big Indian system. Okay. And I went back and forth a little bit with ChatGPT and testing this. And then I like looked at the function. It doesn't actually do anything. And I replied to it in the chat, and I'm like, this doesn't actually do anything, does it? And it's, oh no, this is just a hypothetical way that you might structure some code to do this. I'm like, but like, how much of that stuff exists in production code now that people don't know about? Because it looks right, it gives a response that seems right, but it's not right. That's a big problem.
Yeah, that's actually a very good example. And I have a simpler example. I was looking for a nursery near my house with a special plant and a very rare palm tree that you can only find in Florida and tropical places that in California it's really hard to find. And it said this XYZ, I forget what the nursery was, like it was a few months ago, has it. Mind you that when I went to the nursery, it wasn't there anymore. There was a restaurant there, so it didn't
Oh,
exist. That place had long, like for years, had been closed, and so he just made things up. And I was like, and that's where I had my awakening that yeah, this is a good tool at the very best. If you're over relying on this thing too
yeah,
much,
you've got to fact check it. You've got to understand how it works, and you've got to have
yeah,
the right guardrails and checks and balances to use it.